Interacting with the daily shift schedule in eMESA. The daily shift schedule screen is a supervisor's workbench in eMESA. It's divided into 5 major areas on the screen, the first being the sort criteria, which allows the supervisor to select the date and shift along with other pertinent information. The next major area is the resource roster, where the supervisor can see who's scheduled to be on shift as well as add or remove resources. The third area on the screen is the Reports and Shift Notes area. From here, a supervisor can access numerous reports, create a work order, and add unscheduled work to the schedule. The next area on the screen is the Scheduled Tasks, a list of work orders that have been scheduled to be completed for that shift. The final area on the screen is the Resource Availability Chart. As the supervisor assigns hours, an updated bar chart will display showing how many of the total hours have been assigned. In this example, you will first see what a supervisor would do at the beginning of their shift, which includes assigning and lining out daily work schedules. The supervisor starts by selecting the work or planner group to define the tasks to be completed. The schedule automatically sorts for the date and shift. To assign individuals work orders, the supervisor goes to the appropriate task and clicks the Assign button. A pop-up will display showing a list of individuals that belong to the planner group of the work order. If the individual that you want to assign the task doesn't display on the list, a drop-down also appears showing everyone that is scheduled on the shift. The individuals can then be assigned the appropriate number of hours to each task. As individuals are assigned, the number of assigned hours and available hours are tracked and displayed. You will notice as tasks are assigned, the Assign button on the daily shift schedule turns green, denoting that the assignment has been made for that particular task. This process is repeated until 100% of the resources have been assigned. This can easily be checked by looking at the resource bar at the bottom of the screen. Task notes can be left on a work order on a running basis. This is where notes about the job are left. The notes might include staging information, parts information, and actual information. For jobs that run across multiple shifts, a running log is kept by date and shift. There are a number of reports that display the notes, one being the Technician Assignment Report shown later, and another being a shift summary report that shows everything that happened over the course of any given shift. eMESA consolidates all of the information that most supervisors keep on a daily basis in one place. It provides a single version of the truth. Once all of the assignments are made, a Technician Assignment Report can be run. It allows the supervisor to print out a report on a separate sheet of paper for each technician. On the report is a list of work orders and tasks the technician has been assigned to, the number of hours they've been assigned, along with a list of all of the notes that have been left for those tasks. Again, these notes can be staging information or notes left from prior shifts regarding the specific task. At any point, the supervisor can add unscheduled work to the daily schedule. Most operations are very dynamic in nature, and eMESA allows for this in that a supervisor is free to add work to the schedule that meets the needs of the operation. This might include unscheduled work, opportunistic work, or breakdown work. eMESA provides the supervisor with a pop-up that allows the supervisor to quickly review the backlog so that ready work can be quickly identified and added to the daily schedule. As in many of the screens, this screen also provides the supervisor with a red and green color coding signifying whether or not the job has had parts ordered or if they have been received. eMESA allows for entry of shift notes. These are notes that pertain to events that occur across the shift. At the end of shift, the supervisor now goes in and updates the status of progress made during the shift. The supervisor can start by entering actual hours to the various jobs. By selecting the Actual button, a pop-up displays with the list of technicians that were assigned to that job. The supervisor can then go in and enter the number of hours the technicians worked. At this point, the supervisor can also enter any actual notes, whether it was a scheduled or unscheduled task. Finally, the supervisor runs the End of Shift wizard. When this is run, a list of all the tasks on the daily schedule are presented to the supervisor. The supervisor can then go down the list one by one and do one of three things to the task. They can complete the work order task, signifying that the work has been completed. The second thing they can do is pass on the task. Passing on a task sends the task to a subsequent shift, signifying that the task is not complete, but will continue to be worked on. The system allows for task notes at the time the task is passed on. Finally, a task can be rescheduled. Typically, the act of rescheduling a work order task sends that task back to the backlog, signifying that the task was not started and needs to be rescheduled into the future. Some systems allow the supervisor to reschedule the work order into the future, but that is a configuration setting based on the process of the operation. Any work order tasks that are rescheduled have a variance code that asks the supervisor why they are rescheduling the order. Typical reasons include lack of parts, lack of labor resources, lack of necessary tools or space, or because of production needs. For more information, visit Dimension Technology Solutions at www.dts-global.com. To contact us, call 1-866-515-3874 or email us at sales@dts-global.com.